I thought I'd jump on. I ain't been on in a minute. And we definitely know there's a lot that's going on in these streets. Um, I think it's quite disturbing that we have people's emotions that aren't checked. It's a form of disrespect and it's dangerous. Um, I often try to think about what information I can bring to the minority community to help navigate positive conversations and productive actions that can lead people to a healthier mental state and relationships amongst their families and within their communities. It is very troubling when you see on a more frequent basis minorities and black people that are just wilding out. They aren't getting any better. They're being very disruptive within their families and within relationships, and it's unfortunate. What happened to Peach McIntyre's mother at the casino is a travesty. It's something that should have never happened. If I go out and I am trying to enjoy myself, and you have people approach me because they are aware of who I am via social media, and it turns into a brawl, it is something very wrong. And I'm gonna be the first to say that I'm acting like Miss Tracy or even worse. Um, I'm at the stage in my life to where I'm not going to get involved in physical contact unless it's life threatening. And if someone engages me to the point to where I have to defend myself and it becomes physical, I will treat it as if it is a life and death matter. Because nobody in their 40s and 50s, really any age, but definitely when you in middle age, ain't nobody out here in these streets bobbing and weaving and getting in fights. We treat that as if it's a life or death situation, and that's how I would address it. Those young girls had a lot of nerve, had a lot of boldness. What That's the scary part. They were very bold to engage to the level where it became physical. But a lot of young people are desensitized. They don't have boundaries. They don't understand repercussions of actions. And they have no respect for people that are older than them. They're When there's no boundaries, and more importantly, when there is no conscience, that's when you start to deal with a dangerous person. See, a conscience is a check and balance. Your conscience checks you, it makes you pause, it makes you think, reassess. It pulls on your senses to make you evaluate your actions. And when you don't have that, then you are dangerous. I never want to be a person without a conscience. A conscience is a lifesaver, a guiding factor. And the more I become acclimated and aware and engaged in this social media culture and the different generations that I interact with, it is very evident how a lot of people are struggling mentally. They don't know how to or are unable to connect the dots of emotional balance. It's a shame of where we are today as a society that you have young people that have the intent or the desire to want to cause physical harm to elderly or their elders. I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in spirituality. The Bible speaks of this. There will be a generation that does not know me. We are here. We are here. And even though I speak out, I am a firm and true believer in the Bible and what it says. Uh, I've had my own interactions with the Most High, our Lord and Savior, so I know that He exists. Um, and that's not something that I debate. I know what I know. But the Bible will fulfill itself. I believe that. And the more and more that these younger generations rise up and act out, it is evident that we are in the times that the Bible speaks about. You have a generation of people that just don't respect nobody at all. And that becomes a very dangerous culture, interaction. And we must become very aware because how we grew up, those of us that are Gen X, we are not that far removed from how our parents was raised in the moral dynamic of family, respect, and all of that. We have to understand that those come after us, especially Gen Z, don't feel like that. And a lot of them whoop your ass. Excuse my French, but it's just the truth. And they don't have the love for you that they should have. Young people of today are very vengeful, are very resentful. And that's not to say that a lot of their grievances don't have validity, but it's the way in which you navigate and you deal with it that is changing the whole dynamic of family relationships. Young people don't care about their parents like those of us that are a little bit older do for our parents. And we didn't grow up with the best environments. Each generation has tried to provide more for their offsprings than they were provided for. I'm speaking of Gen X, experienced a lot of physical and mental abuse, a lot of passed down traumas from our parents because when you look at society, you realize that we're not that far from removed from slavery and getting beat by white people. Free reign. Hi, hey lady, I'm glad you joined. I don't know if you ever joined the live before, but okay. I'm gonna keep on talking. I just wanted to jump on here and Free Reign said, I'm at work listening and you're on point. It's the young and old that are out here without a moral compass and it's all being captured on camera. It really is. And I think I get more upset when I try to speak up and speak out to try to educate. Um, when older people be in my comments uh, trying to chastise me. About what I'm speaking about. It's nothing worse than an ignorant person, and it's nothing uglier than an ignorant old fool. And we got a lot of them out there, and it just baffles me because you got a lot of people that have not grown up mentally. And there has been so many lies within the African American community that it's just corrupted. So much so that it's just out of control on every level. Uh, the days of parenting these young people is just out the door. Mothers are more interested in getting along and hanging out with their daughters than they are focused on correcting their ways, and it's just a shame. Um, I have a daughter. She just turned 19 the other day. And we don't meet eye to eye on everything. But I don't never let her get that comfortable with me to where she feels as if or she knows that I accept that we equal. She wants to put us on that level because she a part of the Gen Z community. And I actually started to recognize something was going on with her when I first gave her a phone. I think she was in the first, second grade. Biggest mistake. I got 2 kids. My son 10 years older than her. So I got a millennial and a Gen Z. And I noticed with her after she got that phone, I could see her change, but she was born a certain way. That's why I know I believe something in the water because they all this way. I thought for a while when I was raising my daughter that I was going through the changes because I would try to discipline her a certain way, and there was nothing I could do to make her transformed to how I felt she should act and be towards me. She wanted to be more equal. Um, and I thought, I said, is something wrong with her? But the more and more that I understood her and then I started interacting with others, I realized that I wasn't the only one that had experienced these tough truths about raising a Gen Z daughter. Um, it's a part of their culture. And I didn't initially know that when I started to see the struggles that I started to experience with my daughter when I was raising her. She and all those on that level, they don't have the level of comprehension of there are different levels and different levels of respect. There is everyone deserves respect, but there is a certain level of respect that you should exert to your elders. Gen Z don't have that. They feel that they are your equal. And it ain't nothing we can do about that. That is their culture. Not all, but I would figure to say the majority. It's a different level of mentality, and one of the reasons that they this way is because they were born into this technology environment. They didn't live a life without computers and cell phones. It has always existed in their life, and contrary to what people may believe, these devices that we use, it does impact our psyche, our emotional and mental state. Your mind is not fully developed until you're 25. My daughter only 19. She ain't fully developed, but she's smarter than me. Let her tell it. But I don't allow her to ever think that it's okay that we on the same stage because we ain't never on the same stage. I hear you and I'm willing to work with you, but there is a difference between you and I. And I ain't gonna never let her get that comfortable to where she think we equal. And because we ain't. I got 30 years more life. I got wisdom to pass down. I can learn from her, but it's a part of this life that it's a gift to her that I share with her. She can never catch me. I got 30 years on this ground. And a lot of these parents out here are moving and navigating just to get along. I have come to the point, and I think more of us have to come to the realization in our middle age because the truth of the matter is, it's a lot of single middle-aged Black women like myself, and a lot of them struggle with being lonely because it ain't a plethora of men out there. It just is what it is. Ain't no use to lying. And we ain't gonna lie over here. We keep it real so we can heal and get to that other side of healthy life. And I think a lot of these parents, mothers specifically, they start to compromise their beliefs and integrity in order to have a relationship with their toxic and disrespectful kids. And I'm here to say that that's the wrong way. Once you learn self-love, which is a ever evolving and journey throughout life, you can withstand and resist all these things that you don't agree with just to get along. See, agreeing to get along becomes dangerous, because that's how you have these young people that's whooping their parents' tail and taking advantage and just not showing any authentic love. You know, parents out here buying their kids because they don't want to deal with themselves. Because a lot of us are single. I go through stages in my life where I feel alone. My family don't even live in the same state as me, and I am honest with myself. I go through periods where I want companionship. I want the love and comfort of family, but I ain't going to do anything to have it, because I still have an identity and boundaries and limits to who I am and how I am. And my kids have to show up in a certain way, just like I have to show up in a certain way as a mother. And if we can't meet in that place, then we can't negotiate, because what are you really getting in the end? A lot of people trying to buy their kids affection. When you have to buy, that ain't affection. When you have to fold to be in the presence of your kids and do any and everything just to interact with them, then what are you really getting? It's an unhealthy place to be. I know there's a lot of mothers, because I interact with them in the comments and just throughout, you know, my interaction on social media. I know there's a lot of Black mothers like myself that are single and want relationships with their kids. But I'm here to encourage you and to tell you the truth. If you gotta buy your kids, you have nothing. And we have to learn a new way of living our lives, because a lot of these young people will sacrifice you. They are sacrificing you. What happened with Peach Mama? I've done 4 videos now, 4 or 5. Every video I've done, minus the one that I just posted today about the fight, have went viral. I say viral in aspect, they all are at least 20,000 views on TikTok, right? Because it's a reality. A lot of Black families is dealing with the toxic reality of these unhealthy relationships within these families. It's been, and what these kids fail to realize is they want to talk about abuse, and all this upbringing that was toxic. A lot of these kids are abusive. I had to tell my daughter this not long ago. I said, and our relationship is nothing like that, but she has that little smart aleck way in her, and and I guess I ain't doing too bad, because what I see in these streets, it's like kid in a candy store in my life, but I don't like any, because I wasn't raised with any. When my mother said something, that was it. But we in a different time, so I have learned to not be as stern in that way with my daughter. But we ain't equal. We are not equal. I lost my train of thought while I was saying that, but it was just a disaster waiting to happen. What happened with Peach's mother? When you get on here on social media and you tell your whole life and you so toxic, you got these other toxic people that have these bad relationships that feel like they know you because they identify with you. And they feel like they can address people that they don't even know. That's what happened with Peach's mama. That girl felt like she knew enough that where she knew Peach's mama and she could check her. Not only or push her. That's how people's lives get changed. That's how um, people snap. Things happen and your life is messed up. And it's just a shame. It is. It's a shame, Free. Um, Them girls lucky that they ran in Peach Mama, because me, and I ain't no bad chick, because it's always somebody better than you, but I don't scare easily and I will defend myself. I'm at the stage in my life, most of us as middle age, if we interact that way, I'm going to treat it as life or death, because I ain't just out here fighting. Um, if I get, if it get physical with me, I, I'm going to treat it like life or death. And for Peach to come online and not even address those girls and say, no matter what I say, don't touch my mother. It's a shame that you have a group of people that follows her and supports her regardless. You have to be very careful what you put out in this world. See, it might look all good today and it might seem like she on the come up, but a circle gonna always complete itself. She got to account for those bad behaviors. And to not address them people when it comes to her family, that goes to show what kind of person you really are. I try to, at this stage in my life, look for good and all, but sometimes it just ain't no good in some people. And the more and more I see the unraveling of the toxic realities of Peach mind, ain't no good there. Now, that ain't to say some of the things she went through or all the things she went through did not happen. They could have. We wasn't there. But here is the truth. She too old to be crying about that at this point. Um, she needs to seek therapy. She responsible for those kids that she didn't have. And as toxic as she is, taking them to the zoo and to Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts ain't gonna erase that trauma that her kids are experiencing. Those are young kids, but we've all been young kids before too. Kids ain't no fool. Them kids know what's going on, and all the toxic behavior that Peaches spews out there, those kids feel all of it. I remember being a little kid and knowing, without knowing, that something was not right. Free says, we've all been through tough times. Yes, we have. It's time for her to grow up and be an adult and put her phone down and parent her children. Exactly. And I'm going to be honest. I try to be careful when I talk about kids because kids are innocent. But I'm really confused as to how much education are these kids really getting? Where's the intellect? Because the oldest son, he seems like a nice boy, and he is a nice boy, but the level of emotional maturity isn't there. Um, one or two kids been diagnosed with this and that. Like, I think there needs to be some extra support in that household because she needed. Woods ain't emotionally capable, and everybody need a little extra help. And she the biggest liar on social media. She run her mouth so much. Oh, I don't put my kids in my videos. I don't record when my kids are around. Every other video you see her kids in the video. Well, when does that happen? Um, I don't, I don't get it. And then you got 400 some thousand people following her. Um, I unsubscribed to her. Now I do follow the little guy, basically Greg, because I like him. I think he is an innocent guy, and I really feel sorry for him. But and that's just my way of supporting because I like him. I like the young boy. He seems like a respectable young man. But she is breeding a very unhealthy family, and she lie every other word. Now, she talking about her brother and sister. At some point, we all know what every 9 days, her and Woods fall out. So when it really pop off, and you don't have your brother and sister because you on social media talking about them like a dog, Gregory can only be so much. That's your child. That ain't your friend. And I know that young man, he knows too much. He knows far too much. That's her confidant. That 15-year-old boy knows everything. And as a woman that have grew up in that environment, like the majority of us, because we just now getting to the point to where we can honestly and outwardly discuss what's the the hard truths within the African American community, because it's a lot of healing that needs to happen that ain't happened yet. And it's been a lot of hidden toxic relationships. That boy know way too much. And his mama is using him as her confidant and her best friend, and he ain't. That's her son. He 15. He part of them 7 kids. She just be perpetuating the stereotypes, and it's sad. It's very sad because she has enough influence to make a big difference within her community. That's my problem. And one reasons why I make the video is, one, if she can't do it, then hopefully I can educate enough people that if you gonna follow her, then listen to me, because I can help impact your life for the better. She has a platform that if she turned that thing around and really did the homework and focused on healing and working on and addressing all the traumas and healing that needs to happen, and sharing her journey, her authentic journey along the way, she would take that platform beyond areas unknown. It's unbelievable. What another one like that is Brianna. Her and Brianna. I said, how are all these people listening to two of the biggest fools? You got her and Miss LaTruth. They the worst. But it's a reality, and it's a snapshot of the mental health within the African American community. It ain't the black community, specifically the African American, those of us that was born in the US, not people that came from Nigeria and Uganda and Ghana and all of that. Us that was born here, that ain't never been nowhere, that was raised in these black families. There's a big difference. And we got a lot of healing to do. And it's a shame. These fools out here acting a plum fool. I ain't never seen free. I ain't never seen so many booties in my life. I see booties and bodies before I see face. It's a shame. Now, I think you should take care of yourself, but these people, this a live. What's going on, lady? This live. We all the way live, y'all. Good to see you. If you want to join, I can send you the yeah, we live. Talking about the unhealthiness of these black families and what's going on. It's a shame what happened to that lady. But let's be honest, y'all. It was inevitable. It was something bad was gonna happen, and I just pray that something else don't happen. It goes to show that, and free, you made a point, like you said, we don't know, and I didn't even think about that. She could have paid her, because who in they right man gonna come on live after their mother didn't got into it with some of their followers and not address them followers? It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'd have told them comments up. Peach don't understand. That lady got 2 other kids that love their mama. And she can mess around and get her tail kicked. See, I'm the youngest of 5 girls. And at different times, and if you got sisters, you know how, you don't even have to have sisters. Y'all know how it is with a room full of women. I lived in a house full of them. So different times, my mother raised us with an iron fist. I don't blame her because that's how I would raise fat chicks. Um, we had our differences with our mother at different times, but at the end of the day, she was still our mothers, and there was still limits and boundaries. You can only go so far because that's still my mama. I don't care who you are, my sister or not. You know, that ain't just Peach Mama. That lady got two other kids, and when you start messing with somebody mama, then all bets are off because it's clear that lady, she can't be that bad. Number one, we addressed previously that she wasn't that bad. You brought your kids over there to watch them while you and Woods was while you was chicking and taking Woods on trips. So who gonna take their kids to a abusive person? Nobody. So let's not, you exaggerating there. Yo said, what exactly does Peace say about her mom to have strangers attacking her like that? What you see on the lives, people are mentally and emotionally unhealthy. They got issues. They feel like they can identify with what happened. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me too, y'all. And they felt comfortable enough to where they could address that lady and they don't even know her. People mentally are not healthy. There was no reason that should have turned into a fight. We'd have tore up the casino, I tell you that. We would have tore that casino up. Oh, I don't fault my sister for disrespecting our mama. No, wait a minute, I done fault. We all have our moments to where we have disagreements or then got into it with our parents. But there's a limit to that. You know, you gonna only go so far with mama, and I'm gonna step in because she ain't only your mama. And those other two kids, it's clear they have a different love for their mama than Peach do. And another thing that I think is ridiculous, she always talking about, oh, I had to pay for this. I had to pay my mama for this. I had to pay for that. At the end of the day, you the one laid down and had 7 kids. That's a job. You would have to pay me too. Period. When you have all them kids, it's a cost that come with that. Ain't nobody who gonna sit around taking care of all them damn kids. And so what? You gonna bring all them kids over? It's enough, so I gotta buy groceries. It's gonna cost me? No, it's gonna cost you. My mama still be irritating me, but I will never disrespect her or allow anyone to do it. And while you're around, exactly. Listen, I didn't have my ups and downs with my mother throughout my life. The older I have gotten, I value my mother. Me and my mother aren't the closest that I would like. Like, I don't talk to my mother every day, but I love my mother. My mother in her 70s now. I value, and it's precious, the time and the interactions I have with my mother because I know I'm on borrowed time. I could go before her. We don't know the day or the hour, but when you start getting older in age, you understand the importance of time. And you also understand the importance of, I call them the key players in your life. I lost my father when I was 35. I think I was 35. I'm going to miss him for the rest of my life. Nobody can replace my father. Nobody can replace my mother, no matter what we go through, because that's my mother and my father. People be looking for this love and validation of other people, and it's only there for a while or for a convenience or for a price. And when these people are gone, they gone. If she pay her own husband, why she can't pay her mama? Listen, I don't care if you don't pay nobody. If you got 7 kids, you gotta pay me. You gon' pay me. Really, you ain't gonna pay me because I ain't watching those 7 kids. That's just it, and that's all. I'm not into big families like that. If we having a family reunion, cool. But no, you sit up there having baby after baby hanging out in the NICU. then you hang out with them when they out of the NICU. Take them with you. Like she always say, she don't like her kids sitting around and they go places. Well, take your kids everywhere you go, because you don't have nothing good to say about your family. It's a crying shame that that girl has that platform that is big as hers, and she is as ignorant and as disrespectful as she is. The black community as a whole should really be offended, but we so consumed with it and so focused on getting that bag and let me learn from Peach. Peach ain't teaching nobody nothing to that extent, because she knows once people learn, see, she becomes irrelevant. That's why that young lady that she talked about in another video said that she reached that 100,000 followers and the girl didn't mention her. Why would the girl want to mention her? Who wants to stand beside ignorance? A chick that flip her titty out, that look like a bag of chitlins in public, and have no respect for anybody. And she got an ignorant husband standing right there with her with all these kids running around, and you talking ignorant as hell, talking about cheering. You don't even, what in the hell is cheering? Like, it's the African American community should not support such ignorance. They really shouldn't. Peach doesn't value anything, not marriage, not money, not her mama, not even, nah, we definitely, Diana, I ain't watching no 7 Kids. Free Wish said having a hood time. You got that right. But it trips me out every time that girl posts a video up there. And she talking about she had to pay her mama to watch them kids. You gonna have to pay everybody to watch them damn kids. Who gonna watch them kids? And in today's times, let's just be honest. Who having 7 kids? And who having 7 kids by a dude like Woods? Nobody but her. So since you love, like you done made all them ignorant songs about the Wood, then you gonna have to take care of all them kids, because ain't nobody having all them damn kids no more. And since you had them, you take care of them. I see, when I see they be running around in Sam's Club and all that, it's a shame. It's a shame. And people just get behind her because they think that they gonna learn something. Them people, as soon as they learn something, they don't want to be bothered with Peach. Because who wants to be bothered with ignorance day in and day out? My cousin had 5 before the age of 25. She said having 2 or 5 is the same. I laughed to myself. Exactly. Look, my mother had 5 before the age of 25, and I'm the youngest of 5. I'm lucky to be here. And my heart goes out to my mother, because I know I had 2 kids and they 10 years apart, and I couldn't do it. And the thing about it is, she want to act like she a good mother. A good mother don't represent herself in that fashion that Peach represents herself. A good mother don't come on social media and talk and say I'm dirty and I'm nasty. They do something about it, because what people fail to realize, and this is something I told my daughter, because my daughter in college and she's in politics. She wants to change laws and stuff like that. She's studying to be a lawyer. I said, be careful what you put on social media. I said, because being in that field, they go all back your entire life. I said, once something is out there on social media, it's there forever. And you have to be very mindful of what you put out there. See, a lot of these young people don't understand who you are today is not going to be who you become tomorrow. I understood that at a young age. That's why I don't have no tattoo. My son, he's 29, and he probably one of very few don't have no tattoos, because who you are today is not, if you bless, going to be who you are later on in life. And a lot of these kids are living for just now. They have no sense of life's progression and that you will change, and it's going to cost them. Diana says she is not a good mother. She is repeating. No, she's not. You right, free. It's there forever. It's too much going on that is wrong. And the sad truth is, them kids gonna get older. Just think about this. Well, he was born into it, so Greg is conditioned. All the kids are, but as they get older, and kids are cruel. Kids are very cruel. They can be able to pull up the internet and see their mama's titty with their friends. You know how many of their friends gonna say, "Look at your mama titty," because kids are cruel like that. Uh, that's gonna come back and haunt her kids because it's just the world we live in. She has no self-respect or respect for others. We know that her mother just got in a fight in her mid-50s because of her daughter. You let me get in a fight because my daughter out here running her mouth. I would not want my kids to play with them because free. Listen, it's this young girl, God's honest truth. Discernment is a beautiful thing, y'all. Praise God to that. I've always had it my whole life. When I had my daughter, we moved to another city, and when I lived in Ohio, and this little girl, my daughter was in elementary school. I knew very early on that girl was fast, and I didn't like her. I said, no, we cutting her loose. I didn't want my daughter to be bothered with her. I said, she gonna be pregnant, and you ain't gonna follow in her shoes. You can't hang with her. Fast forward, guess who my daughter in college now, but guess who had a baby in high school? That girl. Um, So I'm a firm one too. We ain't hanging with you because you are a product of your environment, and that's why I try to talk to these young people on TikTok. Try to appeal to their senses because they are so influenced by whatever is going on. A lot of them don't think for themselves. They really don't, and it's a dangerous place to be. Diana says, I pay for her oldest son. Yes, I do too, because I'm afraid someone is going to jump him. Emotionally, he's not mature enough. I was talking about him earlier. I follow him. He's the only one I follow. I don't know if I follow Woods. I might have not followed. I know I don't follow Peach. Um, but I follow the young man because I like him. I said he's emotionally, he's not mature. He's immature for his age, but you could tell he a good kid at heart. Um, but something missing there. Let's just be honest. Um, he a victim of trauma. All them years as Peaches, your mama. You think that boy ain't got PTSD? That's another thing. Um, PTSD is real within the African American community. I acquired PTSD from a toxic work environment. We learning these things with mental health and just healthy lifestyles within our community because we wasn't taught it. We just now becoming educated, and that's real. Um, I always associated PTSD with the military. Now, you don't have to be in the military to get PTSD. You can get PTSD because you're a part of a toxic ass family or a high stress toxic work environment. Um, I ain't never been in the military, but I was diagnosed with PTSD. How were you able to keep away from the fast tail girl? Um, I so I start reaching out to her mama, and her mama didn't, everybody protected their kids, but when I started exposing her to her mama, then her mother wanted to try to compare my daughter. I said, well, I come with evidence. I said, I believe it. I said, just show me the evidence. Her mama could never show me the evidence. So, when you start getting, see, I go above the kid. I'm going to talk to your mama. And I called her mama and told her mama, your daughter, she dropping it like it's hot on social media. And I don't know if you know what's going on in your house when you ain't home, but I go through my daughter's phone. Maybe you should go through yours because I seen some videos of your daughter that I'm sure you probably don't know about. And she kind of young to be gyrating like that. So I'm thinking she might got some experience. Um, Yeah, PTSD is a real thing. Y'all said I definitely had PTSD years before I joined the military. Yep. Listen, I never would have thought I had PTSD, but that's the real thing within the African American community. And let's just be honest. Being the youngest of five women, I've seen a lot, and having girlfriends, a lot of African American, specifically black women, we suffer from PTSD because of having these jacked up ass relationship with these men and not knowing how to walk away early enough, and this constant abuse, or being addicted to pain. It can create a lot of symptoms and conditions, and that's just being honest. uh I don't know where we have gotten to this place. I watch a couple other people, and you got these other platforms that they focus on is bashing a black man. It's so toxic and unhealthy. It's ridiculous. Like, I guard what I expose myself to because it's a mess. I follow a lot of these techie channels. I started following Deion Sanders because I like that family dynamic, and I like what's going on with these football teams. And I ain't never watched football before in my life, but I'm very careful about what I watch and allow into my psyche, because that's a real thing. You mess around and you didn't digested all this toxicity and this negativity, you don't even realize you become unhealthy. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, I appreciate if you do. Free said working at the post office gave me and my colleagues PTSD. Listen, Free, I know it does. Because when you dealing with the public, um that's a hard thing. I managed people for over 20 years of my life, in unionized environments, so you know that was hell. Thank God I don't manage people no more. Me first is a real thing. Um, you deal with a lot of emotional unhealthiness and a lot of challenges that other people go through. You don't, we spend a lot of time at these jobs, and you become very aware of what's going on in other people's lives because you spending so much time with these people. I went through a stage in my life, with like a lot of y'all at some point, we were spending more time with people at work than we was with our families. I had to work a lot throughout my life, and I'll be damned if I have some unruly, disrespectful, unappreciative kids that don't give me my just due. I'm going to get my just due, or I'm not going to be bothered with you. Life is what I have come to realize is you gonna be who you gonna be, and life gonna be what it is. I ain't paying nobody to get along, and I ain't buying nobody to love me. That's why I learned how to love myself. And more people need to learn how to love themselves and develop relationships outside of these toxic relationships, because it's a lot of toxic relationships within family. And don't get me wrong, I believe in family wholeheartedly, but I can't, it takes two to develop that relationship. And if you ain't got nothing you working with, I ain't gonna spend the rest of my damn life trying to capture it. We either gonna get it together or we gonna go on apart. That old saying, if somebody can't appreciate your presence, ensure they appreciate your absence. You're gonna get your ass up out of here. That's it. I love people. I love helping people, but people will hurt you. And I'm just no longer willing to sacrifice myself for people in a way. People got to step up to the plate, and they got to be accountable, um, and equally responsible for the outcome of these relationships. People got to, a lot of these pointing fingers, and no accountability. And it's why we got these scary, unhealthy relationships and families within the African American community. And it seems like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm telling y'all, it seemed like more shit is going on within the African American community than anybody. We got more turmoil amongst us, and it's just going down the toilet. It ain't getting better. You got these young girls that they don't care. They talk about, I ain't never seen so many body parts in just sexuality in my life. Let me tell you this. I don't care how much they try to change society, a hoe is a hoe. And if you don't have no self-respect, it's going to end up catching up with you. Because as much as people try to change, as much as life stay the same, uh, don't nobody, you know, want to be with anyone that don't have any self-respect. Um, y'all said I used to buy love no more. Listen, that day is done. I ain't buying shit. Um, like my kids now, so they grown. I don't really get off into holidays anymore because don't nobody buy gifts. So we don't buy gifts. I got a lot of shit. When my kids need me, you know, I step up and I help when necessary, but don't depend on me. I have given you all the tools. My son, I gave him all the tools to be successful. My daughter is a sophomore in college. I'm giving her all the tools to be successful. Um, if you don't think enough of me to buy me a card or a gift on my birthday, then I'm fine with that. We don't have to exchange. I'm past that point in my life to where I feel like I have to go out and buy gifts. Uh, I will if I feel a desire to, but if you ain't a giver, then don't expect to get. And I stand on that. And I ain't no selfish person. I believe wholeheartedly in giving, but I like to receive too. I treat people how I want to be treated. And if I treat you a certain way and it ain't reciprocated, then I accept it. Ain't I'm past the point in my life of arguing. See, I used to be a big arguer, y'all. I used to get down. I could beat the hell out of you with my tongue. But for what? Life is too short. I don't have high blood pressure, nor do I desire to have it. And I ain't arguing with nobody. I take care of myself. Um, I like to do things. I look for like-minded people at this stage of my life. I ain't tricking for $1. I ain't buying a man. Um, and I'm going to have a good day regardless of anybody. And can't nobody interfere with that because I went through something in my life. I went through depression. I went through severe case of COVID. I know the importance of time. I know that people will be there for a minute, but not for the long haul. See, the truth of the matter is this. A lot of people might have support, but a lot of people don't. That's just the fact of it. We have to be very mindful to take care of ourselves and to stay healthy because, let's be honest, you get sick and a lot of people going to a nursing home or you in bad shape because ain't nobody taking care of your ass. Them kids, they'll come and see you. They'll be bothered for a minute and then they gone. And the sad part about it is some ain't coming at all. Prime example, we even got off her and she in this we beyond her, but I remember hearing Peace say her mother was in the hospital and she didn't go see her. What kind of shit is that? It's you know what it is? It's the reality of what's going on in these families and where people's hearts truly are at. That's why you got to get um, healthy and right within yourself. Well, thank you very much, Heather. I appreciate that. Um, so you can be at peace when people don't show up for you. See, it took me what I started speaking out about mental health when in July 2019. God has dealt with me up through all of this. He taught me how to lean on him and myself, um, because people will let you down. It's just the nature of life. People will be there for a while, but it gets old. I have a very good friend that's a chaplain. He's a pastor. Appreciate that, y'all. You too. Um, he been dealing with people in hospitals and death for 30 years in my hometown of Dayton, Ohio. He speak about it all the time. because he has a prayer line I call at 5 o'clock in the morning. Been calling that at 5 o'clock in the morning for 4 years now, and it helped me through a lot of hard times. Um, Talk about families, they come, but families don't want to take care of you. He speaks a very honest truth. They in there for a little while, but families get tired and then they get gone. You know, that's why it's so important to take care of yourself. Because people say, oh, I'll take care of you, and you think family's gonna take care of you. People get tired. It's a natural course of life. My nephew, he is 30, in his 30s now. He got shot. He was 19, a year after he graduated high school. He paralyzed from his waist down. He lived with me for a year after he got shot. His mother was living out of town, and the doctor said it would be very wrong. It would be very unhealthy to take him out of his environment. So my mother stayed with me, and me, my kids, and my ex, and we took care of my nephew. I saw them people come. My nephew, very nice looking, very popular, at that time in his life out of high school. A lot of young, intelligent, bright future girls liked him. When he got shot, everybody came to see him in the beginning. He was in hospital for over a month. He was in hospital for a while to get well. Once you get shot and you can't walk no more, you got to go through a lot of therapy, and that's a lot of strain and emotional challenges. People visited him in the beginning, but people start to tailor off because people go on with their life. That's why you have to learn that self-love and that self-reliance, because people get tired, and people there for a minute, but very few is there for the long haul. And I ain't being negative. This just the way of life. I know I had did a video and somebody had left in the comments and said, because you negative. If the truth is negative, then I'm negative. The truth is the truth. People don't like to hear the truth. That's how you get set up for failure. You can always hope and want the best, but deal in reality. And a lot of reality is a hard, harsh truth. And people need to be open to receive the truth. That's when I started to get well. When, amen, the truth does hurt, but the truth will set you free. The truth set me free, y'all. When I started to walk down all the lies that others told me and I told myself in my life, that was the beginning of my healing process. I didn't have anything to hide behind. Truth was in my face. What you gonna do? You gonna deal with it or not? I wanted a different life, so I decided to address the truth, the ugly truths about my life, about me, myself personally, and about my family and all those toxic, badass friendships. And you shut up and eat dirt and I, I can't even think of the other word, but tell your mama to shut up. The truth is, a lot of people, just like that little bastard that just came in here, miserable. You got miserable people. And they out here. See, miserable people like Chomper Boy. See, that's a miserable little bastard that don't have any positivity to put in the world. So they want to go around and spread negativity and spew probably all that bad energy on other people because they miserable. They miserable people that don't want to see nobody else happy. And that's how you get in brawls in these casinos, because you got negative people like Chomper Boy that probably ain't never had a girlfriend and mad at the world because of it. And it's a sad place to be in. But this is our reality. It's our reality. Hey yo, let's Miss Amen, and you know what, dude? Let's hook up this week and put a plan together about maybe some topics or something. We can maybe start collaborating more frequently, because now is the time to really like reach out, because there's so many toxic people that they need some honest truth and some guidance, and I don't see a lot of it out there. It's either on one side of the stick or the spectrum, or on the other, because you got people that hate everybody. It's just it's not enough teaching that's going out here. Hey, listen. My ex, we friends now because he did work and I don't want him no more. That's the only way we could be friends. And I took over a year break to heal. And had he not did any work, I would never have talked to him again. That dude lied our whole relationship, girl. And he was damn good at it too. Um, but he lied because that's what it took to get what he wanted. And he was very comfortable with being a liar. It's a lot of liars out here in the street. Peach a liar. Um, it's a lot of liars. And it's a lot of and what's bad is, listen, this how bad it is. Now after Miss Tracy get in that situation, it was this the chick that said that she messed with Woods, that's fat, nasty, and ugly, Fifi chick. She was in Tracy's comments saying I'm next, like she gonna beat up Tracy next. You think I'm gonna let a broad be talking like that to my mother in the comments? See, some stuff can get you hurt, but that's how toxic and dangerous. And that girl trolled uh Peach mother, excuse me, and her brother. I went to both of them lives, and I would just be sitting here. You know how we do it, girl. I was sitting here on this internet, and I seen the notifications that Peach mother went live. I clicked in, found out about that. Both times something went on. Her mother came on, and it was some drama. I was on this internet, and I caught her live. Same thing with the brother. But them people in them lives, there's a lot of mentally unhealthy people that looking for clout. Um, Looking for clout by any means necessary, that don't have anything positive or any takeaways that can impact somebody's life positively. And that's the problem. You got a lot of people out here looking for clout, but they ain't giving nothing back. They tell you any and everything just so they could try to grow their platforms. And the more negative, the better. And that is breeding all these communities of negative, unhealthy, mentally sick people. And that's a real thing. It's a lot of them out here. I don't want to be a part of nothing where every time I come on, I ain't got nothing good to say, or I ain't trying to help somebody. I ain't trying to push an agenda forward, um, try to help a race of people or a community, whatever, help mankind. I focus on black people because I'm black. I focus on black people because that's who I know. I focus on black people because I know we need help. And it's a lot of us that need to get well. It's a serious thing about this mental health. I've been talking about it, and I ain't gonna quit, because it's a lot of crazy people out here. It's a lot of people that's addicted to pain, addicted to sickness, toxic behaviors, violence, all the things that make you an unhealthy person. And it's just unfortunate that this is where we at. So I've been on here for an hour. I think that's been long enough. Yo, let's get together and come up with some stuff. It's time for us to grow and go. Let's put our agenda ahead. I think we can make change one way or another. I appreciate y'all being here. Until the next time, take care of yourselves. Stay positive. Um, It really are. We have to be accountable. If we don't speak up, because it damn sure ain't enough of us speaking up. Um, I'm just appalled at, though, how many of these platforms are black women, and they just focused on the black man and negative and hating him or wanting one. It's a lot more to life than that. Let's do it, lady. Have a good night. God's blessings.